been a while. Too long, actually. A lot has happened in the last few months, most of which I have at least addressed through dev updates, but not in depth. I also have some other new stuff to show, so let's just jump right into it. First up are combat effects, which are special effects that can be triggered by the weapon upon charging the attack. These effects can be attached to a weapon through the combat slots, which can be unlocked by upgrading the weapon. Right now I'm choosing a combat speed boost and a fire buff. So right now I am charging the weapon, and once I've charged it, you can see the effect. These effects can be mixed and matched to create different results. I hope to give the player a lot of choices and options and flexibility in their builds. Also hoping with every new playthrough to give a different result, of course. So the system should help with that. Magic uses the same combat effects, but a little bit differently. For magic, you actually create your own spells through talismans. Talismans kind of act the same as the weapon slots. You put the combat effects in and create your own multi-effect. These talismans can then be equipped to the weapon, and through that you select the spell you want to use. The profit from using this instead of adding it to a weapon is through casting it with staffs or scepters. The spells will be quicker because you'll be able to cast them much quicker, and they'll be more potent. A big reason for doing it like this is because this way any class will be able to profit from picking up combat effects. It's never nice to get really high level loot that you can't really use because it's for the wrong class. This way everybody can profit, and I think that really benefits the gameplay. And the last update for combat is the usage of bow and arrow for the player. It was already working for NPCs before, now the basics are also in for the player, so that's nice to have too. Up next is character creation. In order to get a good demo going, character creation is of course crucial. First three classes supported are soldier, cleric, and pirate. The first one we're going to look at here is the cleric class. They start out with a mace and a scepter. They start out at a random town at the church. The soldier is equipped with a sword and shield. They start out in the main city at the city hall right now. Will be the barracks later once I've created that. After that we have the pirate. The pirate starts out with a scimitar and a bow, and they spawn at the docks at the boat. Character creation itself isn't all that special. It kinda gives you the basics. What kind of body type do you want? Hair type, color that goes with the hair. We also allow facial hair for the female body type. We have facial markings. So if you want to have some scars or some tattoos, then that's possible too. And if you really don't care, then you can just press the randomize button to get a random body. All of this is done while in the background the new island is being generated. So this, because the whole island generation process is quite long, so this whole character creation process is a perfect way to hide most of that. I've also done some UI upgrades in the meantime. You can see one popping up right now. It's the location discovery header. There's one just for the location itself once you're there, but there's also one that actually pops up when you discover a location for the first time. And the other UI update is the lock-on image. So lock-on was already a thing. It's also a little bit improved, but now there's an actual proper indication that you're locked on, which is very handy. Dungeons have also gotten a few upgrades. Every dungeon now ends with a boss fight. Of course, I still only have one boss fight. It's still the troll, but hey, they spawn a boss fight. On completion of the boss fight, they now spawn a teleporter back to the entrance of the dungeon. Next step will also, of course, be spawning like special loot. But yeah, at least the cycle for dungeons is completed. In the future, I still want to look into having it actually exit into another point of interest, kind of as a connection from one to the other. That would be really cool. And then we get to some major bug fixes. First up is the terrain generation, specifically the path generation. I had an issue where too often a path couldn't be generated, and that would end up with poorly designed maps. I've improved that algorithm, so that's improved and stable now. Unfortunately, the paths themselves are a little bit too rigid, so I need to add some noise again to make them nicer and make sure that they don't actually spawn in water parts. And the other major fix is that towns now also host NPCs. Before, only the city hosted NPCs that were interactable and could give quests. That was a problem because the towns kind of used the same system as the city, so they were supposed to work. Looked into it, found the issue, and now they work too. Those were the updates. Of course, what I'm working on next is the internal demo still. I want to have this demo as playable as possible, have as many or actually all basic components in there. I wouldn't call it an alpha yet, but very close to. It's also going to be something that I'll use for Next Fest on Steam once I'm close enough to a playable demo. In order to get there, the biggest parts I'm working on now are going to be the main quest line for both three classes. Every class will have their own quest line deviation. They'll all be based on the same main path, but they all have deviations. So those will be worked on. But also very important is XP and loot. I haven't really put too much thought into that yet, and that needs to be in there, in my opinion. And after those, back to combat again to look at the bars. I'm not using the stamina bar yet. I'm not using the mana bar yet. I'm not entirely sure what to do with those yet. So those will be after. That was it for this devlog. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please wishlist the game on Steam. Link is in the description. And if you haven't already, also subscribe to the channel. Hopefully see you next time. And that was it.